fighting Gene Simmons, stealing sofas, and jamming with the Beach Boys. Here's how John Stamos went from flipping burgers to Hollywood ladies' man. Like many actors, John Stamos got his start in soaps and was still a teenager himself when he landed the role of troubled teen Blackie Parrish on General Hospital. Blackie quickly became one of the show's more popular characters, propelling him to teen idol status via covers for magazines like Tiger Beat. Interestingly, Stamos wasn't initially meant to stick around on General Hospital for as long as he did, telling W Magazine, "My character was supposed to die, and my mom wrote all these letters to ABC and they kept me around." After 2 years on the show, Stamos' ambitions began expanding beyond daytime drama, but thanks to the bad contract he had signed and his character's popularity, he seemed stuck. As he explained, "I think I was making $300 an episode or something, but the show got huge and I got in teen magazines and stuff." However, he was insistent he wanted to leave, which led the series' iconic creator, Gloria Monty, to threaten that his career would be over if he left the show.
Is that the speech I'm gonna hear again? Be strong, Blackie.
He left anyway, and the rest is history, though he does still credit General Hospital for helping launch his career. John Stamos has achieved an enviable status in Hollywood, and he's made a few dollars along the way while doing it. In fact, Celebrity Net Worth estimated that he's sitting on a not-too-shabby nest egg of $25 million. John Stamos' success and fortune is the end result of the solid work ethic that Stamos has demonstrated consistently throughout his career, something he credits to his restaurateur father. As he explained in an interview with Orange Coast magazine, he began working at one of his father's eateries when he was 13. Stamos' life changed overnight when he was cast in General Hospital in 1982. Except for one facet, his father wouldn't allow him to quit his job at the restaurant. He went on to explain, "So I would still go to work on Sundays and kids were coming to the restaurant for autographs and pictures, and I'm flipping burgers, working the counter, wearing an apron, and I eventually said, 'Dad, I gotta quit, I'm a teen idol.'" One John Stamos film credit stands atop all the rest when it comes to sheer absurdity: the 1986 movie Never Too Young to Die. The film has gone on to become a cult classic, not only for its sheer awfulness, but for a must-be-seen-to-be-believed performance by Kiss rocker Gene Simmons as a gang leader, who plans a terrorist attack that Stamos' character must foil.
You're only half of each. I'm a whole man. So if you'll excuse me, I don't have a lot of time here. I gotta save the world.
At the time, Stamos felt he'd landed the lucky break that would catapult him from soap actor to bona fide movie stardom, telling The Hollywood Reporter, "I just thought, this is my shot, a young James Bond. I thought it was going to be the biggest breakthrough. I'm done with TV. I'm going to be a movie star. And then I did that piece of." Over the years, Stamos has come to have a fond appreciation of Never Too Young to Die and its cheesiness. As he told Collider, "I certainly show it to all my friends. I was having a birthday party last August and we set up a screen in the backyard and I wanted to show that. But I thought it would be too egotistical, but I'm gonna do it this year." In 2004, John Stamos had recently split from first wife Rebecca Romaine and had thrown himself back into the Hollywood party scene. It was during this period that he met 17-year-old Allison Koss, who wound up attending a party Stamos hosted in a hotel room. As Michigan Live reported, a few years later, Koss and boyfriend Scott Cipolla allegedly attempted to extort Stamos, threatening to release embarrassing photos of the actor taken at that party unless they were paid $680,000. Rather than pay up, Stamos went to the cops. The pair were subsequently arrested and placed on trial. During the trial, however, Koss doubled down, alleging that a naked Stamos made sexual advances toward her in a hot tub and also snorted cocaine. Stamos' recollection of events, however, was markedly different, denying all the allegations in a statement. A search of the couple's home turned up no incriminating photos, and in 2010, they were convicted. Both Koss and Cipolla were sentenced to 4 years in prison, while Stamos' reputation remained intact. During his 20s, John Stamos topped the list of Hollywood's most eligible young bachelors. Among Stamos' rumored exes were TV personality Terry Copley, singer Vanity, Oscar winner Marlee Matlin, pop star and future American Idol judge Paula Abdul, and supermodel Julie Anderson, and he's rumored to have dated many others. Stamos ended his single life when he married model-actor Rebecca Romaine in 1998, but wasted little time in reclaiming the Bachelor title when they split in 2004. His post-divorce years dating history includes Pilates instructor Leah Marsh, Denise Richards, Renee Zellweger, and Amy Poehler. Stamos' second run of dating came to an end when he married Caitlin McHugh in 2018. The couple first met while they were both working on the show Law & Order Special Victims Unit. However, they didn't begin talking in earnest until he saw her again when her roommate was guest starring in an episode of Fuller House with him. After the two tied the knot, Stamos then embraced life as a family man when the couple welcomed their first child, son Billy, later that same year. John Stamos has made no secret of his utter love and devotion for all things Disney, particularly its theme parks. In fact, he's even celebrated some major milestones in his life with a Disney twist. Not only did he announce his engagement to future wife Caitlin McHugh via a Disneyland-themed Instagram post, a rep for Stamos confirmed to People that he popped the question at the Magic Kingdom, and that the pair enjoyed their honeymoon at Florida's Walt Disney World Resort.
Then I said, hey, you want to go to Disney? I knew the two things. She loved pizza and she loved Disney World. So
yeah, he knew how to lure me in.
Stamos grew up in California's Orange County, home to Disneyland, and told Orange Coast magazine that he's a hardcore collector of Disneyland memorabilia. Stamos set the record straight about an urban legend claiming he has a lifetime pass to Disneyland, insisting he doesn't. Even so, he admitted to some preferential treatment, such as not having to stand in lines when he visits the park. John Stamos made his debut on Broadway in 1996 when he replaced Matthew Broderick in the revival of How to Succeed in Business Without Really Trying. Stamos returned to Broadway in 2002, again as a replacement when he subbed for Alan Cumming as the body MC in Cabaret. The following year, Stamos substituted for Antonio Banderas in 9. It wasn't until 2009 that Stamos opened a show on his own, co-starring with Gina Gershon in a revival of Bye Bye Birdie. Before the show even opened, Stamos found himself caught up in an onstage snafu that led to some unscripted hilarity. As Entertainment Weekly reported, the final preview performance before opening night halted for an uncomfortable 20 minutes due to some technical difficulties. During the delay, Stamos called out a couple of special guests in the audience, comedian Don Rickles, who couldn't resist heckling the delay, and his former co-star Bob Saget. Stamos was eventually joined by Gershon, who told the crowd she'd just seen Full House for the first time a few weeks earlier. When she asked what the show was about, Saget quipped, "Oh, it's basically just like Brokeback Mountain, but as a sitcom." It's not uncommon for actors to keep memorabilia from their various film and TV projects as keepsakes, so it's not surprising that John Stamos has hung on to a familiar piece of furniture from the set of Full House. In a 2020 Instagram post, he revealed that he'd kept the iconic Full House couch and that he was currently using it as a baby gate for his son. Apparently, Stamos' Full House co-stars were unaware of his ownership of the couch, and they responded in comments to his post, with their reactions ranging from comforted that he had the couch to playful allegations of Stamos being a thief. Even though Full House ended its run more than 2 decades ago, the beloved sitcom still looms large for John Stamos. Being so closely associated with the family comedy definitely impacted how he was viewed in Hollywood, along with how he sometimes viewed himself. As he said in an interview with GQ, "I think the Full House thing has been a blessing and a curse. I think sometimes I don't conduct myself as a serious person, but I am. I mean, I can be." As Stamos admitted, he certainly fueled that perception with his dating history and charmed life. Looking back, however, he can see how his fear about growing up led him to become something of a Hollywood caricature. As for Full House following him, Stamos told USA Today that there was a time where he didn't want to be associated with the show, but he's grown to appreciate it.
then I realized that what it meant to people, and I was like okay with it, and I've done enough other work to satisfy.
While Full House was filmed within a soundstage in Los Angeles, the sitcom was set in San Francisco, which was established in the iconic opening theme song, featuring a quaint Victorian house that was purportedly the home of Danny Tanner and his family. That house actually exists, and thanks to the enduring popularity of Full House, it's become something of a local tourist attraction over the years. As he shared on Instagram, Stamos joined other tourists when he stopped by the iconic front stoop himself. As he pointed out in his caption, none of the other people gathered at the abode realized that Uncle Jesse was in their midst, standing mere feet from them. John Stamos and the Beach Boys are pretty tight. Stamos has been performing with the band since the 1980s, which has been a surreal experience for the actor.
I would never even dreamed of meeting the Beach Boys, let alone play with it.
He further explained that the opportunity came about when he attended one of the concerts at the behest of a friend who played guitar for the band. After the show, he went backstage while being chased by his adoring fans. Beach Boys singer Mike Love apparently turned to Stamos' friend, who explained that John was a heartthrob on General Hospital. In response, Mike told the friend, "Get him on stage." So Stamos joined the band for their encore Barbara Ann, and over 3 decades later, he still performs with his favorite band. His experience with the legendary group doesn't end there, as he also appeared in the band's 1988 music video for Kokomo. John Stamos was devastated by the death of his longtime friend and Full House co-star Bob Saget in January 2022 at the age of 65. The Los Angeles Times reported that Stamos spoke at Saget's eulogy, saying, "He was there through divorces, deaths, despair, and dark days. He was there through love, marriage, a child, and bright times. He was my lifeline. That friendship may have been deep and enduring, but it did not have a great start. As Stamos revealed in an interview with the New York Times, they had differing styles when they first began working together on Full House, with Stamos explaining he was a comic. If there was even one person on the set, he had to make them laugh. He admitted that he found Saget's anything for a laugh tendency messed with his own process as an actor. Eventually, they learned to adjust those clashing styles to better accommodate each other. Yet that stage when they butted heads, Stamos recalled, was merely a short blip in their long relationship.